Right. I used to be in a place where I'd have a lot of things that I would want to do for myself, but I just didn't pursue them. I would have like crystal clear, like movie crisp visions of who I wanted to become, what I wanted to achieve, but then I would overthink myself into action paralysis because I was so obsessed with the results to the point where I felt like failing was not an option. Like, failing was not an option, and because I was so afraid of failing, I didn't allow myself to fail by not taking the leap. So this video is going to be about some of the things, well, three things that I'm going to explain in this video about like what helped me get out of that action paralysis and help me get me moving towards who I wanted to be. And all of these are actually like just like mind-based actions. No like journaling habits, none of that. But it all starts in the mind. The mind. Okay, so the first thing is reframing your failures. The second thing is identity based thoughts and language. And the third one is treating myself like my own best friend. Okay, so the first thing I did was reframing my failures. Instead of viewing each attempt as a chance of failure, I now view each attempt as a necessary failure towards what I want to achieve. So instead of thinking, what if I fail? I'm thinking it takes 2 or 10 failures before I am able to achieve that outcome. Failing is literally the deliverable to what I want to achieve. And the reason why I feel like I didn't include failing as a step towards success is because I cannot quantify no matter how much I no matter how much I meticulously like invest into the details. I don't know how many times I have to fail before I achieve success. And the mystery of that is what held me back. Because with everything else, I felt like I could research it and I could, count the numbers, like do my due diligence and really put my all in there and work towards the goal that I had for myself. But failure was something that was, a mystery variable. But now that I see failure as something that's necessary and just something that, yes, it's going to be a mystery how much times I fail. And yes, I'm probably going to fail dozens of times. But accepting that and just taking it on anyways, because accepting that and taking it on anyways and knowing that the success will be worth so much more than what those failures ever were is so much more motivating since I get to just accept it as part of the process. This was inspired by rollerblading, actually. There's a lot of spins and tricks that I want to do, but I can't do those without falling a bunch of times as I'm learning how to do them, right? So, the first few times falling when I was doing like learning how to rollerblade, it hurt so bad, right? But as time progresses and I learn how to fall more and more, I actually trust myself to fall safely and know that I can get back up again and try when I'm ready to with the things I've learned from falling. And that is just one step closer to me being able to achieve what I want to achieve. There are many times where I underestimate the amount of times I have to fall in order to learn a trick, but fail so much that your success is undeniable to you. That's my advice. Okay. Another thing is identity, thought, space, and language. Thoughts, identity based thoughts and language. Okay. So I heard somewhere that saying, I don't eat sugar feels more empowering than saying I can't eat sugar. Because the first statement is aligning yourself with the ideal version of who you want to become. It's saying that you don't eat sugar. But saying I can't eat sugar is like disallowing yourself from a version of disallowing an action for another version of yourself that you align with currently, which is not the version of yourself that doesn't eat sugar. Okay, to put this into Actually, a better example, 1.5 months ago, I was running. I started running because I just wanted to get more cardio in and just be like cardiovascularly like healthy overall, right? But instead of ever saying I'm trying to run, I was telling people left and right, I am a runner. I am a runner because I would get my 3 miles in every day. But what made it easier is saying I am a runner, because saying I am trying to run places you right here where this is your idealized version, a runner, and you are trying to run. And that is, you are like, that would be placing myself outpaced by an idealized version of myself. And that's discouraging to lose to yourself. So, saying I am a runner made things so much more like frictionless and easy for me, because I'm able to clear like time out of my day. Like, yeah, I am putting time slots in my schedule because I am a runner. This is just what I do. And uh and it's like how many miles do I have to run? If I was in the original mindset where I am trying to run, and then this is where I see as I am a runner, how many miles between this, how many miles would I have to run in order to eventually be able to claim that I am a runner? There is no real answer or real number, because I am taking the steps of what a real runner would do. I am just early in the process. But I should not feel ashamed to claim that I am a runner, because I am there. I'm not trying to get there, I am there. I am a runner. And so that just made the process so much more easier for me to like pick this hobby up and consistently do it every day, because people see me as a runner. I see myself as a runner. I do things that align with being a runner. And this can be applied towards many other things and many other goals that you have. If you have a goal for yourself, I think it's so much more beneficial um to just identify with it, and naturally you know what it takes to get there. So you will do them, and you deserve that title already because you are just early. You are not a fraud. Give yourself give yourself the ability to align with your ideal self. Do not put yourself outpace by your own ideal self, because then at what point do you determine that you align with your ideal self? You know, that's the second point. Okay. So the third point is I would treat myself like my own best friend. So, in order to build consistent steps towards who I wanted to become, I needed to take myself seriously and start living up to my promises. Okay, chances are you already know how to achieve exactly who you want to become. You know all the steps it takes, you know everything about what it takes and how to get there. You just need to do it. Like, if you are obsessed enough, you know how to get there. So this is not what this video is about. Like, I'm not gonna tell you about like journaling or like no, like, you know how to get there. But what I was personally struggling a lot with was showing up for myself and committing to myself. So for example, if a friend were to ask me, hey, do you want to get coffee next Thursday at 9 a.m., and I agree to it, then they expect me to show up Thursday at 9 a.m. for coffee. But come Thursday 8 a.m. and I'm saying, actually I don't want to show up because I'm too tired. That doesn't that would make me a horrible, horrible friend. That would be horrible, because this friend had an expectation and you completely blew them off because you were like tired. Okay? And you don't want to do that to yourself either. You know, if I can't even show up for a simple coffee, then how could they ever trust me to do anything else more, right? So in rebuilding that relationship I had with myself, I needed to treat myself with how I would treat someone as a friend. So showing up for myself in small things would be like making sure that I sleep well enough, making sure that I have all my nutrients, like I eat well, okay? Making sure that I have respect for myself, making sure that I stand up for myself. These are the small things that if you show up for yourself consistently, time and time again, you build trust with yourself and you feel confident in yourself. Like I now feel a lot more confident with myself because I'm confident that I can show up for myself and I deserve every bit of that. And so extending that, okay, before when I didn't really treat myself like too well, like I didn't really show up for myself because I would, have I would have like excuses or just like, I just fluke on myself. I feel like that was a representation of the type of relationship I would tolerate from other people. And I was doing that to myself. That was a passive, that was putting myself in a passive position of receiving what I know internally that I didn't deserve, but I didn't show up. But I didn't show up for myself to give myself what I felt, what I knew I deserved. And that is a horrible friend to myself. Does that make sense? Okay. So continuing on, I cannot do anything. I cannot achieve anything. I can't achieve goals if I cannot trust myself to do so. And so by that like building like that credit score of consistently, always, constantly showing up for myself and trusting myself that I can take care of myself, that builds resilience for helping me pursue bigger goals that I have for myself. So now, instead of passively tolerating the treatment that I was just letting happen to me and from others, and allowing that treatment to happen to myself from myself, I am now actively in the driver's seat of giving myself what I deserve. And that has completely shaped my vision of what I deserve and what I am capable of. You know, I can always count on myself. Hence, I can always trust myself that I will show up for myself. I hope that makes sense. Anyways, so to summarize the video, the three things are reframing failures as steps to success. The second thing is identity-based thoughts and language, aligning yourself with your ideal version, because that gets rid of any friction that you may have in being able to pursue your ideal version like shamelessly. And the third one is treating yourself like your own best friend. And I hope this helped, because thank you.